is lesson 2, cyclorama in Revit, and we'll do a little bit of work with floors and site topography. So we have walls, but we do not have any floor slabs or information modeled. And remember, 1 or 2 of these elevations are in wireframe mode, so let's talk about the strategy of the floor. I'm going to have level 1 be the ground plane, and we're not going to bother with the basement below it. We could simply just take these walls and, extend them to the basement, but let's go now to floor plan level 1. And just go to floor, architecture, floor. And we're going to use a generic 12-inch floor, so I'm just going to use the rectangle tool to enclose that entire area. It's that simple. Close. The site plan, I'm going to draw simple topography with 4 boundary points at elevation 0, 0. So you go to massing and site, top of surface. By default, it prompts you to place points, and I'm just placing points outside the elevation markers so that elevations and sections are going to read as cutting through the earth. And when you place topography, you also need, in order to create a depression in the earth, you need to place what's called a building pad. Before I place that, I'm going to actually create an elevation datum for the basement, or lower level, whatever it is. Let's go to south view again. Select one of these and say create similar, and I'm going to create datum. It's about 6 feet below, 6.5 feet below the earth, 6 feet below. And let's rename that level B. B as in baby. It will prompt me to say, do you want to rename corresponding views? That's fine, that really doesn't matter. And that's where we're going to place our building pads. So let's go back to the site plan, massing and site, building pad. It's just like a floor tool, it wants the shape of the building pad. The shape of the building pad is going to be the outline floor, and we're going to place it at level B and finish that. So now when we go back to the elevation drawing, we see it there. We still see the earth because we haven't cut through the section, but now when we cut a section through the building view, when we cut a building section sort of about the center, looking that way. Make sure it grabs everything. So that now when I go down to sections, I have a building section. And when I reveal it, you can see that it excludes the earth because the building pad actually creates a depression in the earth for that. So I could take these walls and the exterior walls, I suppose I could make believe they start at level B. It depends on whether or not we're going to occupy that. Let's go to level 1, just it's sort of bothering me. So let's select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those 7 walls, and say their base constraint is level B. So that'll make for a better reading section drawing. Right? We still have this floor slab at level 1, but we may want to pick it up. It's probably slightly higher than the sidewalk. Let's say it lives. I'm getting some memory issues with VDI. We'll have to wait for VDI to redraw. We'll give it a height offset of 1. Alright. So you step into the building, we need a couple of risers to get into the building. Level 1 is actually the level of the finished grade. And slightly above level 1 is that inside floor. We don't have a floor slab at level 2. We can take that shape, copy it to the clipboard, paste, aligned to selected levels, and select level 2. It tries to maintain the same offset, so we're just going to have to remove that height offset. So now we have a floor slab at both levels. We need to make openings for the stairs and all that other stuff. I'm not concerned with that right now. And let's create another floor slab and copy it to level 3. Because we need to model this flat roof over here and whatever happens at the back of the building. So I'm going to, again, the clipboard still contains that floor. Modify, paste, aligned to selected levels. I'm going to paste this floor to level 3. And height offset, let's set that back to 0. So I think that floor is at, well, there's a little bit of space over here, but we're not, we can ignore that. Let's expand the crop here, crop area. And actually take the exterior walls, probably go up to that floor level, but for now we're going to ignore that. So if we go to the 3D view, this is what we have so far. There's a CAD drawing that's conveniently located there in elevation. So I need a series of columns now that are, let's see if we can measure approximate thickness of those things. I think we made that thickness 6 or 8 feet. Annotate. From here to there, we need to set the plane so we can measure that. Let's just draw a line and see if we can. Architecture, let's draw a model line. Five, 6, well, it's corbelled out to, let's make those 6-foot round columns. Again, floor plan level 1. Let's go to wireframe mode so we can see through. Let us create architecture column. We don't have round columns loaded, so we'll have to load family of round columns. round column. And we're going to duplicate this and create an 8-foot diameter column. And that's a rough guess at what those turret-looking columns are. Let's go into the structure. The diameter and change that to 8 feet. Okay. That might have been a bit much. Let's make it at 6 feet. 6-foot diameter column. We'll adjust the height of them afterwards, placing them approximately where we have visual evidence that they occur. The centers, I think, we're using as the point where the walls change direction. This is approximate. We can go in afterwards and adjust all this. This is not NASA. We're not trying to land somebody on the moon. You may be thinking, well, this is a circular array, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's probably, to complete this shape, you probably have a column in these locations, but it's been modified with this wall and probably a single column in the middle holding up a steel beam that holds up that wall, but we'll leave it there for now. If I select a column and say select all instances visible, and then go back to my 3D view, and change the top offset, change those columns to go up to level 4, and then maybe to rise above level 4 another 6 feet. So that's what we're roughly looking at. Right? So there's a shape, or approximate outline. I can have these exterior walls have level 3, level 4 as their top constraints. No, level 3, up to level 3. So in some places the wall comes up above in line, select elements by face. We still have to subtract the opening for that volume there, but for the most part I'm going to put shadows on to just sort of quickly see what we have going on. Right, and if we go to the building section, it's a bit more meaningful now. There's our column turret. We guessed approximately right the heights. I don't really care about the crenulations at the top of that. Okay, we're going to save this out as lesson 2, cyclorama modeling in Revit architecture.